Let's see if that's good. Hey! Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, that's good actually. See, do you want to check the sound? Hi, everyone. Let's see what is going on. Happy Election Day. Don't stand there and look at me like that and I'm live. Why do you do that? And this is a business, sir. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Me dealing with my household right now. And I do apologize, everyone. I'm excited about being here today. Babe, can you come here and make an adjustment for me? Can you just lift the camera, tilt it back a little bit? It's my foot. No, tilt it back. That's fine. You look at it and you tell me what you think. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And go tell Michael he's welcome to come out the bedroom. He just stood there and did like this, as if I'm not on camera and already aren't nervous enough. Don't y'all love that about your loved ones? You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Let me take care of something here. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get busy with today's show. I think we have a pretty good one today. We're going to be talking about how to know you're right where you're supposed to be. We're going to be talking about your gut, listening to your belly and what your belly is saying to you. We're also going to be talking about when to know when something is uncomfortable in a natural way and when something is uncomfortable in a negative way, because that all leads into being on your path. But first, and we're going to talk about Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. Yes, we are. Y'all didn't know I was a boxing fan, did y'all? Something like a connoisseur. Hey, DeAndre. Hey, Mama. Thank you. Looking good. Thank you. I'm trying, right? Hey, finest one. There you go. Hey, babes. All right, so let's get into this. So the 5 things today: vote, 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 vote. That's today's 5 things. Okay, vote. We can't say that enough. And if you're a person that doesn't vote, that's fine. Just don't stop anybody else from voting. Just don't try to be a deterrent and try to be someone that's negative about what other people are doing in their lives. All right, let me get to my little notes here. You know, doing this is strange. It's strange. Some days you feel like, yeah, I'm going to go live. And some days you're like, ooh, I'm going to go live. And I guess it really just depends on where you are that day. One of the things I'm trying not to do, and this goes along about being where you're supposed to be. One of the things I'm trying not to do is overthink everything. I'm trying to be more comfortable about, just where I am and what's going on and what I'm doing, knowing that I know what I'm doing. So I don't know, what all that's about. So let's see. I'm going to talk about, I don't have anything. Let's see. Usually the order of the day goes the first 5 things of the news. For that, I just have to say, vote, vote, vote. So this morning I was watching the History Channel. I kind of switch between the animal, the history, and the ID. Welcome to all of my people on Facebook. Welcome, 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 as well as on my. I'm trying to be more comfortable. Oops! I had to go into Facebook because you can't see the notifications. You can't see the chat unless you're in Facebook. So anyway, I was watching the History Channel and they have an awesome series on called Presidents, just simply Presidents. And you guys know I usually do what to watch toward the end, but I'm going to do it now because once I get into where you're supposed to be, or how to know where you're supposed to be, or how to get where you're supposed to be, I don't really want to end it on the note of what to watch. So with that said, I'm going to combine what I saw on YouTube, 2 sides to YouTube. I'm going to combine our discussion, and I'm going to combine a few things into where you're supposed to be, because today it all relates together. All of your gut instinct, there's an axis between your brain and your gut that tell you what to do, tell you what not to do. So all of this is going to work together for our good. It's going to all combine in the goulash. You understand what I'm saying? So to start with the first 5 things. Okay, so I was watching the History Channel this morning. It was awesome. ID is the John. Yes, it is. And they have the presidents on, of course, because it's election day. So on the presidents, they're the first couple ones I was watching had to do with the top 10 presidents or things like that. But one thing I'm going to say, history ain't always been good to us, and it ain't always been the truth to us. We've always had to dig and scratch and find our own truth. I want to say the History Channel is doing a good job today of telling the truth. They're actually, I heard statements like, can you hear that out there? Okay, good, great. It seems like I went live and everybody got funky outside, far as the lawn people. Now they're out blowing out right out front of here. Seems like a lot. Anyway, I digress. Who's I'm gonna wait till he just moves along a little bit. Because y'all might can't hear, but it's distracting the hell out of me. Awesome. By the way, I'm also still doing this. I'm still doing this. Still doing this. So the History Channel, back to that. I'm a history buff. I should have went to college to be a history major. I did study world religion and ancient history, far as religion is concerned. But I remember my high school teacher always trying to get me to go to school for history. He said, you have a passion for it. And I do, because I always like to seek the truth. So anyway, on the President series here on the History Channel, they were making statements like they ruined Black people voting up until this day. I was like, you better say that. And they were talking about one of the presidents, one of the presidents, how he had after the Confederacy had taken place and all that kind of stuff. Then there was a Civil War. He had the time and opportunity to make segregation, all of that kind of go away and normalize things after slavery. True. I noticed that there's a lot more truth out there. Watching Hulu on the C-19 pandemic. Yes. It's not too late. You're right. But now it's just an interest of mine. I just love history, and I stay in it because to me, you often, if you want to know where you've been and what's going on with you, you kind of sometimes have to look at the whole picture. Look at what our ancestors have gone through and look at what they've taught us. We're a resilient people because of our history. We are resilient survivors. I hate to say it like this, but most people would not have lasted and lived through what we've lived through and gone through what we've gone through. And that's why when things like COVID and AIDS and HIV and SARS and all those things come along, we know how to adapt and overcome. I was online this morning just perusing, and I saw more entrepreneurs than I've ever seen in my entire life on Facebook. I saw people who are now making our clothes for us, our people who are now making our soaps, our people who are now making our t-shirts. It's a conspiracy. Do you hear the helicopter now? There is a message that I have to give and birth that the universe is saying, push, push, push. You're where you're supposed to be. Don't let the distractions from outside disrupt you. I don't have that much grass out there. I'm not sure where he's still blowing. And now there's a helicopter hovering above me. So this is telltale sign that I know I'm where I'm supposed to be and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Even when I feel uncomfortable, even when I feel like there's distractions all around me, even when I'm feeling negative, I can still be positive. Yes, it can happen. Not that I'm feeling negative, but I'm feeling the I honestly feel like, how people try to buy time on their job. He's out there just going like this. He's out there just going like this. Because we don't have no grass out there like that. Babe, he got to be out there just blowing, just going like this. Because you can't hear it? Oh, I was so worried about the video. I'm so sorry, y'all. I digress. Back to the History Channel. So I'm sitting there and I'm like watching it. And I'm listening to the fact, and I've known this previously, most African Americans were Republicans. We started out being Republicans. We were talking about it this morning because we were looking at Pennsylvania and how Pennsylvania is always a hard state for the Democratic ticket to win. We were looking at Biden and how he's having a hard time in Pennsylvania and Trump has an easier time. And you would think it being a place, like Philly and different places like that, it would be Democratic. No, it's red. It's been a red state since Thomas Jefferson, Lincoln, all of them were Republicans. I'm not a Republican. I don't mind telling you guys that. I think it has changed, but we have a definite history in being Republicans and on that side of society, that side of socialism. So when I was watching this on the History Channel, they're talking about things like, he was for slavery, and no, he wasn't, and this one, he ruined it. One of them, They were like, he's a modern day Trump. Basically, they were saying he did everything he could to get kicked out of the White House. And he almost did. And he was the one, I think it was Buchanan. It was Buchanan. Was it Buchanan? No, Buchanan, they were saying, was the first gay president. Don't judge me and don't call me out on it. History Channel said it. They said he was the first gay president, that he had a man, Mr. King, that lived with him for 16 years. And he had a cousin that also lived with him that kind of played as his first lady. So that's where the term first lady came from. It didn't come from the first wife. It came from being the first lady. She wasn't the first wife. She was the first lady. That concludes my history lesson of Election Day. Let's get into some things. All right. How do you know? I'm going to talk about the gut. I'm going to talk about the gut brain axis first, because this is how we know we're on our right path. Let me get some little notes. So I'm going to talk about the gut brain axis. So, and I'm not going to get deep, medical on y'all, but there is a known axis between the gut and the brain. Now, Civil War next. This is what I will say on that. I also have seen, like never before, more Black militia groups. Check out, there's a group in Atlanta that is fully armed to the nines. African American brothers. They're their amendment rights, and they are armed. And guess what? They're meeting the opposition. Stone Mountain in Georgia, which is about 20, 30, 40 minutes outside of Atlanta, has classically been known to be the foundation of the KKK. So there's always been a black cloud of racism in that area. Atlanta, to me, I've said to you guys before, has always had that black cloud of racism over it. Also, the struggle is real. The entrepreneurs do well if you know somebody, but the struggle is real there. And I've always felt like that struggle is not my struggle as far as living there. If you're born and raised there, keep that struggle. That's you. But I needed to go back to what's familiar to me, which is peace and tranquility. With that being said, there are more militias and different groups being counteracting what we've always dealt with our entire lives, the KKK. So let's get back to, there's an axis between your brain and your stomach. I'm going to speak very plainly on this. You ever have a situation happen and you have to face something the next morning, you have to deal with a situation or issue, and you get a stomach ache all night long about that? Or you get constipated, or you bowels, whatever the case may be. Scientists did not believe, or the medical field did not believe, because the difference between psychology of the mind and the body, dealing with the body, they didn't believe there was a direct correlation between that. Now they know. You know how we say that unction, that gut feeling that you have right here is trying to tell you something, is trying to make you aware of something. That thing we feel, that thing in our belly that says, yes, there's something going on here, or no, this is a perfect place. And if you're an empath, that thing picks up so much more. If you're an empath, you literally operate outside of your gut feeling, your intuition, your third eye. All of this is connected. All of your chakras are connected. Those are the things that, other religions don't want to recognize. But if we took a part of all of it, we actually live a more peaceful life, because we can learn techniques that other things, we close ourselves off in a box when we just say, no, I'm this and that's that. But we never explore meditation. I remember when I was a pastor, or even when I first became a Christian, I always thought that meditation was and chanting, and that was all some form of witchcraft. And it wasn't until I later found out in my biblical studies, in my ancient history studies, that religious studies, that was a path to God that's always been around. And guess what? It's the same thing as prayer. I'm not sure why we take things and we magnify them. We've made the Bible so complicated, so inundated with our own ideologies that it no longer means what it actually was set out to do. Yes, some of it is fabricated, some of it is mythological, but for the most part, the things that were true, the things that were grounding, we don't even take a hold of those because we've been long in the black church stigmatized with demons and monsters and ghouls and don't do this. If you touch that, you become a part. It's not so. Our people perish for the lack of knowledge in every area of our lives. So if you learn to deal with what your gut is telling you, it's a tool. If you hear in your mind, if you know in your mind's eye something is going on and your gut is lining up with that, that's where you're supposed to be. That's where your focus needs to be. A lot of times we meet people and we go, ooh, something ain't sit right in my spirit about them. What do you think your spirit is? It's that unction, the knower, the knowing, the spirit in you that dwells, that lets you know. You know that soft whisper you hear that says, don't do that. It sounds like your own voice because of the God in you. See, all of this lines up. And what I'm trying to do is at least spread the word that if we get on one accord with ourselves, life would be so much easier, even in our struggle. Life would be so much easier if we just line up with what our body is telling us. Start there. See, I can't help you if I have not helped myself. I can't teach you self-mastery if I'm not a self-master. And that's not self-proclaimed. It is because I've lived 52 years and the last 50 I didn't have in my control. The last 2, baby, I was in control, but things happened and I let things go out of control. But I have much learned in my time of depression and in my time of solitude, even in my time of mental health, who I am, what I can deal with and what I cannot deal with, which has in turn helped me learn what path I'm supposed to be on, where I'm supposed to be. This thing used to hurt my stomach. Coming live used to hurt my stomach. Why? Because I wasn't in control of what other people were trying to tell me about my channel, about me even. There were people in my ear telling me how awful of a person, I was, at the same time telling me how awesome of a person I was. And I was like, huh? And I should have known that was not of God. That was not right. It wasn't even healthy. But when you come into YouTube, you kind of want to, you want to be liked. You want to be adored. You want to have people in your chat. I'm at the place now. I don't care if nobody ever comes in because I know my ministry, and this ministry I have to do. So now that I've made a way for it, I'm so clear on who I am and what I'm doing. I mean, it's a different ball game now. It totally is. When I come live, if I prepared for it as didn't rush to put my makeup on and all that, I could be at such peace. And now I found out that it doesn't matter what people think, or I'm not getting emails and texts afterwards telling me, oh, that was a great live, but I'm not getting those things because I'm not surrounding in those critical type people anymore. I'm surrounding myself around people who want to be around me. I push my way into some things, not because I wanted to be big. I wanted to be liked. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to be liked? And I found out on YouTube, it's okay not to be liked. The not being liked is actually the better thing, because people will respect who you are when it's just simply the truth. Even if they don't like you, they don't like something about you. They don't like your hair. They don't like your lipstick. They don't like my middle-aged white woman warm-up suit because it got cold outside. They don't, but they're not, I'm not paying attention to that criticism anymore because it doesn't serve me. It doesn't grow me and it doesn't feed me. So with that being said, I know where I am. So let me help some other people get along the way. I no longer serve people who don't serve me. You could have been came out and ate, sir. My son again. I don't serve people who don't serve me. In other words, what you'll notice is, and hi, everybody coming into the room. I see a new color icon. You know, I have no glasses on. I can't see. But I see new folks coming in the room. New folks coming in the room. The pancake. Listen, this woman over here, I digress for a moment. This woman over here off today. She gonna make pancakes and bacon before I go live. I mean, I'm talking about stacks, this big pancakes before I go live. And I told her, I said, can you at least, get the fragrance out the room? No, it's not going nowhere. It's sitting right over here. So homie, he coming to get his plate. Okay. I don't blame him. You want it while it's hot. It's still going to be hot when I get there, trust me. Anyway. Let's get back to the gut and the brain axis. So if you're an empath like me, or even if you're not, even if you're a sensitive person, because there's so many sensitive people out there. If you're a person who's in tune with what's going on in the world, what's going on with society, any of those things, your brain and stomach axis is probably working overtime right now. It's that kind of season. It's a lot going on. And what happens is your stomach starts to tell you, don't go there. Mm-mm. You don't even feel comfortable over there. Don't go here. That's not for you. I'm going to give y'all a prime example. We all know I like the little bit of messy stuff on YouTube. Y'all see me in and out of the places and in and out of the chat. Every now and again, I'll drop down, put my little chuckle. Every now and again, it'll be a serious subject in what we call the beef community, the beefing community, the arguing community, the roasting, the gagging. Some of you might not know on Facebook that I'm on 2 pages there that I actually enjoy that. It took the place of watching Basketball Wives and all those wives, and now it's kind of funny to see some people roasting and gagging in the dozens. Your mom this, and then sometimes it gets bitter, and that's when my stomach gets upset. See, for months. Remember, I was telling y'all the last 2 years I've really been doing dissecting of myself so that I can become a master of myself. And I started gauging when I watched certain things. I had a stomach ache at the end of the day. I had it so much so I thought I was having stomach issues like gastric IBF or those kind of things. And some of it may have been an upset stomach because of anxiety and things like that. But a lot of it, thank you for your comments. Please keep commenting because I'm going to read them. And I'm actually going to invite you guys to come up if you want to say something and add. Matter of fact, let me do that now. Let me add this. And babe, I don't know if you can copy and paste this link. If you would, I'm going to send it to you in Messenger real quick. Babe, so if you could copy and paste it into the live, that would be great. Hopefully it'll show up there. Sorry, y'all, give me 1 second. Okay, that's not working. StreamYard is nice, but it's got a lot going on too. Let me just copy it and try it this way. Thank you. I did see the cute glasses. Thank you. Pardon me just a moment, people. It won't let me paste. StreamYard is something else, honey. Right? I got this. There it is. All right, finally. This is the stuff that actually gets to me, and yeah. And look at that. I don't know how I Am Loved Universal. Pop that in there. You see how weird that is? That's actually my page on Facebook. If you guys would like to be a part of that, I do put more writing on that page. It's called I Am Love Universal because I am. All right. So sometimes I can be watching, um, because yes. Colette says she even went to the doctor's appointment thinking that something was really wrong with her stomach, because if you're not understanding the situation between the brain and the gut, you will think you have gas problems. You'll think you have gastro tract infection, or you've got something else going on. Guess what? It's because of what you allow to enter into your stream, your eye gate, your ear gate, even some things that we're ingesting that don't serve our body goods. It's not just about what we eat, it's about what we watch and what we hear. Sometimes I'm in these chats and I'm telling you guys, it goes your StreamYard, not StreamYard, ScreenYard, and my stomach will literally start hurting from the screaming. Before, I thought it was just me having a belly ache or whatever. I didn't realize, no, you're in toxic territory, lady. You're in toxic territory, and you're not equipped to handle that. So, because of that, hey, Silky Black, give me 1 minute, because if I don't say this, I'm gonna forget everything. But because of that, I had to really gauge where I am, what I am doing, where am I going, what am I feeding myself, what's going on with me. Hey, Silky Black, how are you?
You hear me?
I can't hear you. Hey, babe,
Can you hear me now?
grab me those beats, please. Silky Black, are you talking to me?
No, not yet. Can you hear me?
Oh, you know what? Let me try this. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me try this first. Thank you. So you can hear Silky, and I can't. That's what's horrible.
Yes.
So I'm gonna put my headphones on,
Okay.
y'all.
Can you
Give me
hear
1
me?
second.
Okay. Can you hear me
Hey.
now?
Oh, I'm loud. Silky.
You hear me? You still can't hear me?
Would you do me a favor and go out and come back in,
Okay, I will.
please? I'm so sorry. I don't know why that happens. You, I can't. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Let's see what it do. Let's see what it do, boo. I might have to do this. How's that? Let's see. Anyway, like I was saying, sometimes we are in a position. There we go. I can hear it now. I can hear it now.
Can you hear
I
me
can
now?
hear you. Yes, I can. Thank you so much. Hey, how are
Hello, hello,
you?
hello.
It is so good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, I wanted to chime in on this topic that you're speaking about today
Okay.
because what I found in myself, I'm probably older than you, and I'm a chronic pain sufferer.
Mm.
And I've had multiple back surgeries.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And I have nerve issues where
Mm.
my spine was pressing, it was like pressing on my spine and it damaged my nerve.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
let me tell you, this beef sector, I've actually had to take a break from it because what I found is I couldn't control my pain. No matter what I
I'm
did,
sorry.
I couldn't control my pain. And it's really because I was internalizing
Mhm.
this stuff that I was taking in. And I don't even know how not to take it personal.
Right.
Um like the situation with Lala.
Mhm.
I did not get no sleep. I
Neither
mean,
did I.
so then you say this ain't real. This is real. Like it affects me. So sometimes I have to pull myself back because some things that I really find disheartening, it
Mhm.
affects my pain level.
It
And
does.
it do. So, I mean, maybe because I have these issues already, and it just heighten what's already going on with me.
No, because I don't have those issues and I have the same pain levels. You may be, even I think it's probably heightened because you may have some empathetic natures. Most people that I find that care on here, like there's two sets of people. There's people who say this is an entertainment application. It's just that I log off and I'm done with it. And those people are great. And then there's the other people like us who say this is an entertainment application, but we happen to really connect with the people we talk to on here.
I
We
think
happen to
that's the
really
thing.
like them. We
I
happen to
think
like
that's
their
the thing because I've
kids.
cried over stuff. I mean,
Oh
I've
my
had
God, me
real
too.
emotions. So when you say this ain't real, is my tears real?
So am
Like,
I not real? Am I not real? Right? Because that's I check. I'm really on here. Like I'm
but
really.
when I first came on here,
Mhm.
it was enjoyable.
It was.
I had a good time. I would laugh. It took over TV. I need to really stop paying this cable bill that I'm paying.
And that's what happened to me. That's why I said I stopped watching. Man, I came kind of because of the reviews. Housewives, Basketball Wives, and the Women of Potomac. I don't even. I haven't seen what's going on with them for 3 years. That's how long I've been in this beef sector. And you're right. We need to stop paying the cable bill. But I don't think your pain actually is void of what's going on here. It does hurt us. It does. We just have to learn how not only we can't separate it, that's what makes us human. We just have to learn when to turn it off. That's the only thing I found to do is and for some folks I had to unsubscribe from for a season,
I did
maybe a
too.
lifetime. Some people I really liked, but they're not conducive to my health. It's really not.
I
And
think that some things I took kind of personal because
mhm,
I have children myself, and
mhm.
then I'd be like, what if this was my child?
Right, right,
And so then it's like I'm in that place.
right,
I take the place of that person that you're doing this to.
right.
And so then yes, I take it personal, and then it make me feel like I don't like you so much because how could you go to them type of levels? So this has been a roller coaster ride for
It's
me.
been
To
a
me,
turning point too for me. That was a turning point for me. And you know what? Don't feel you listen, I was feeling bad. Like, how come I didn't see this coming? It is a roller coaster ride. And I went off. I went off. So I had to say to myself, what can you do? That's why I ended up telling my story about me being abducted and nobody looking for me. That's why I ended up telling that story because it had to come
loved
out.
it. Yes, loved
Because
it that
some
you
people
shared that.
and the fact that like you said about with the thing with Lala kind of sparked a lot of this, and for a lot of us it was a decision maker who I follow, who I watch,
Oh, let
what
me
I
tell you what else that was an eye opener for me.
mhm,
Listening to Rita's baby, like how he sound in the background. That sound was it sounded familiar to me. And I said, my grandbaby sounds just like that. Like
yeah,
that sound. I don't know. It just was a familiar sound. Now, I've never experienced an autistic child.
mhm,
And my grandbaby was like 6 months old.
mhm,
And I never knew that, he would pull on your ear all the time.
mhm.
I only had him tested because he sounded like Rita Baby.
See, y'all
He
can't
did.
see.
It
See?
did. So it was an eye opener for me because I never experienced anything
Wow.
like this.
Mm.
Guess what?
Yeah.
My grandbaby is autistic. If you see this little baby, he is such a joy.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. And he's still
Won't-
going to be a
He won't,
blessing.
he
He's
won't
still a
speak.
gift.
He won't talk. And
Mm.
I really wanted to be a content creator and bring awareness to this.
Mhm. Why can't you?
It's brutal.
No, it's not all brutal. It's not. Mm-mm. Where we are is brutal. Where we are, it's brutal. But I'm also in, guess what? I'm also in the psych sector. I'm also in the narc sector, though I try not to be in the narcissism sector. There are sectors for, we always talk about the B sector. It's not a sector, it's actually a community.
I don't even
There
know
are
how I got
communities.
over here. I really
Well,
don't.
you clicked on one thing and then it was a rabbit hole, just like I got over here. But you could click that same rabbit hole. Let me tell you what I did real quick. Let me tell you what I did. So I had the second channel, right? I had Cinderella McQueen. And I took this channel and I clicked off of every beef person. Nothing wrong with it. I took this channel and I clicked off of what I watch because that's part of your algorithm too. If you use your channel as part of what you watch and part of what you produce, it will sync where you watch. So or drop where you watch. I took every beef and person off, right? When it starts sending me stuff, I hit them. I hit notifications. Don't send me no more, And I literally went through. I took weeks and went through and clicked on people's pages that there's a Miss, I don't want to give all their names because I'm going to say them wrong. There's a Miss Lee I watch. There's Dr. Rogers. There's so many people I watch. I click on their stuff. I go in their lives. This page is in 4 different communities. 4. And I did that because that's what I want. I want to go everywhere and be everywhere. I just don't want it to be that way. You can do it. You have to, in 30 days, 30 to 45 days, your algorithm will change and it will pull your page out. Now, if you want to visit the channels, you're going to have to actually go to another page and do that. You won't be able to do that from the page you want to produce content on, because if you do, it's just going to stay. Now I had a big thing with this, Silky. This is why I'm taking the time to explain this to you, because I didn't explain this to a lot of people. I had a big thing. I don't want to be in the beef sector. I don't want to be in the beef sector. But there is a segment of people who are in the beef sector who are like us that need what we offer too.
Yeah,
You found out in the very beef sector
I
about your
did.
baby.
I
So
did.
guess what? Some people in the beef, you were in the beef sector. It served you. It served you. You see what I mean? So there's
Yeah.
some people here we have to serve too. And your
Yeah.
message has to get out to our people. And unfortunately, they're in the beef sector. You see what I'm saying? But yet and still, I go over and visit Phil. I'm on Deepak's page. Hey, I'm getting
Do you
all
see how they drag these kids out? That will hurt me to the
you don't
bone
have
with
to
my little
watch it.
precious
But
grandbaby.
baby, you don't have to watch it. And you don't have to. And here's the thing. You can block folks from your channel who are going to be crucial to who you are and what you're doing, but you're probably, I'm like if Mrs. Money don't mind me saying, I would text her and ask her first, but she's done that. She had to recreate her channel to get into the cooking things. You see what I'm saying? So you may need to keep Silky Black where it's at, create a whole new channel to talk about your baby, how you found out. That's an amazing story. That's an amazing story that you even found out through the beef sector that your baby has autism. And I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm not upset by it because they are a blessing.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I heard that they give more love than a
Yeah.
little bit.
Girl, you
That
don't
they are
even
so
know.
loving.
And I don't know that if I had not been watching Rita,
Had you
that I
been-
would really realize that about him today.
Now there's and here's the thing. This is where I get beyond, and not to say I don't like her, but here's where I get beyond beef. Raw B Privilege has a child that's autistic too. Even if, let's say I'm not saying you don't, but let's say you didn't care for her. She gives great information on her baby and the things you can do. There are so many people in this quote unquote community that have autistic kids. Sweet Mom for Life has an autistic baby.
Yeah.
And she talks about her baby all the time. There are so many people in the beef sector that need you. And if you turn what you're doing away from beef and still kind of linger in here, somebody's going to be just like you are and going to get what they need. I'm not leaving here, but I just don't want to dwell here.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to change the subject of your
No. Do you know what the topic is? You're right where you're supposed to be. How to know you're right where you're supposed to be. And you're finding out you're right where you're supposed to be. You can be in it, but not of it. In other words, I'm in it, I'm here, and like I said, I dropped down and hit a chuckle in a chat. But I don't engage 24/7 now because my stomach hurts, and I can't get. I found out if it's too much rah-rah, I'm gonna have stomach pains, and I might have a problem later on with some bowel.
Right.
I turned it off. I see an interesting title, I will click on it and watch it. And as soon as the StreamYard said boop, 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 and more people come in, I got to go. I got to go. And guess that's wisdom. So I really, really do hope you go forward, because it seems like with your heart and your mind, that's the passion we need behind these things that we're doing. Let that passion for your grandbaby drive you. Ain't nobody, if they drag your grandbaby, you block and move on. Which I would hope they wouldn't. I'm going to definitely promote anything positive. So I hope you do. I really do. Take that tragedy and turn it into a triumph.
Because I've learned a lot since then.
And guess what? They say the earlier you find out, the better your baby can learn to be more. We all know autistic kids go to school, they graduate high school, they become productive members of society. If you catch it early, right at the learning how to talk stage, and it sounds like you did. So you're on the right path, you're on the right track.
Because it made me aware, and it made me investigate things that I could be working with him on now. And so that's what I do. I'm constantly working with him and hoping that I see some progress in him. And it's all because of
Rita. Because of Rita. Because, and I heard that live. We were always tuned in. And I heard when she was crying and upset, and Baby J was like, Mama, and she was like, get off of there, get off of there. He wasn't doing anything bad, and she handled him perfectly. And you know what I mean? In her distraught, I was like, oh, I'm rooting for you, Rita. And she was like, come on. And she grabbed him, and you can see her in the shadow holding him. And so I understand exactly what you heard. I heard, because it broke my heart. And to be honest, I logged off after that. And then that's when I got into, okay, I'm going to go where the positive messages are. Let's get her home. Okay, she's home. We did it because we were supposed to. This is what people, and I would do it again. I would do more next time. Knowing now what I know, knowing that I knew all these Black kids were missing in the DMV. I knew all the kids were missing in DC. That's why I jumped to action, because I was like, do people not understand there is a serious epidemic of Black children missing from the DMV, which is DC, Virginia, and Maryland area, which includes Baltimore. And people aren't realizing that when kids go missing from there, there's a big ring going on there. And I see y'all in the chat.
Proud of this section.
I was so proud too, and I'm still proud. I'm still proud.
And what's disheartening is that Lala didn't see our hearts.
She didn't, and that's okay. That's okay, because she's seeing a whole lot of stuff, and that's the unfortunate part. She's young. She'll see it later. You know what? Hey, Carla. I'm sorry. I'm over on my Facebook. Carla, I have to inbox you. I need to sit down and talk with you, lady. All right. I'm gonna leave that alone. I want to thank you so much. I do want to say this. Please, if you started, please let me know. Inbox me. Send me a message, because I'm gonna be right there to support. This is my new support pattern. Is this? If you post me, I'm gonna post you.
Thank
If you know what I mean, if you,
Yeah.
and if you're not able to post, if you come into my chat, I will be in your chat. That's how I'm supporting nowadays. If you know what I mean, you share me, and anybody who has a page that can please share this video, like and subscribe. I'm going to share you, and that's how I'm gonna show support. There's some people I support that don't have, a big enough channel to share. That doesn't matter. I see you. So with that being said, I just want to let you know, if you do it, I'm gonna be right here for you. I'm gonna
Thank
be
you
right
so
here
much.
for you.
And with
Okay.
that being said, to end the topic, the point of it all was I needed to learn when to pull back
Yes,
from
you
this
do.
situation, when it was best for me and my health not to take in so much.
And not to be going to bed with a belly ache, wondering why you're having bad dreams, wondering why you're being nasty to folks. I was wondering how I get so nasty and mean. And if you knew me from, I've been on here like 3-4 years almost. And if you knew me from when I wasn't never that mean. All of a sudden, I start cussing people. I'm like, girl, you better back yourself up. But full circle, yes. Our gut feeling would tell us when it's time to log off.
Absolutely.
Yep. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much. All right.
See you next time.
All right. Thank you. All right. I don't know how, going in, Let me see. There you go. Thank you. All right. So let's get back into it. Let me read your comments since we had a pause, because next I'm going to be talking about how you know where you're supposed to be. And we're going to talk about Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., honey. So let me read y'all comments first before I get into that. Cause see, I'm about a boxing. I'm about a good boxing match, even though it's an exposition. Let's see. Hey, Andrea Speaks. Hey, love. I'm sorry, just move my whole. I don't do coasters no more. I don't either, ma'am. I don't either. Let me pick my phone up and look, because this is a little bit too much to be looking from under here. Oh, you know what? I just realized. Collect on my YouTube, my Facebook. Thank you so much. But let me just check the comments on here, because if I have to scroll, honey, I gotta lean all up in y'all faces. They have their way of speaking. Yes, I'm gonna leave that alone because I'm messing up my whole visual. Anyway, hopefully y'all can still hear me well, babe, without the headphones on. I don't want that echo to come up, but I want to read y'all's comments now. I'm good? Okay, good. Here we go. All right, I'm back in the comments. So, yeah, and I'm going back up, because before I start talking about Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., I want to clear this up. And we at our 53-minute mark, so y'all know I ain't going to be too much longer. I have noticed that there's a lot more truth out there watching Hulu. Yes, okay, we talked about that. In my travels as a manager, I found a few towns in California that have undergone KKK organizations are coming out now. Yes, they are. We were talking about Stone Mountain and how the militia is gathering for African Americans in Atlanta, with the expectation that even after the election, there will be some unrest. Hopefully not, but hey, the time of silent protest is over. That's all I'm going to say. We have to a meditation room, and it's awesome sauce. Absolutely. Everybody needs a meditation room. If you don't have one, please get you one. Let me push this for your comments. And let's see. I just read something that said, sit with people who work on their inner peace, and that peace will hit different. Abso-freaking-lutely. Listen, I am at such a place that the gut brain axis would tell me when the wrong people are around me. And a lot of people couldn't understand that before about me in the past, but I'm sure they understand now that the way I conduct my life is the way I need to conduct it. And the way you conduct yours will be the way you need to conduct it. And you'll have people in and out of your life that need what they need. And they'll get it and go, or they'll get it and stay, or they'll get it and be around, and you'll feed and you'll be able to glean off of them as well. Season, reason, or lifetime. We talked about that on Sunday. So I have learned that when I'm in a place that I shouldn't be, it's okay to leave. It's okay to separate yourself. Who told us we had to stay in dysfunction? I don't do that. And I try to be as peaceful as I can when I make my exit. But if I have to kick down the door to go, I will. It's just that simple. Because for me, my peace and my mind and my stomach hurting at night and my babe having to deal with me eating Tums and doing all of that because I've been sitting in the beef sector too long, that's my problem. And if I need to get out of the best way I need to, I do. And you have to do the same for you. Silky Black, I've created a new page without any beef content to start my channel. Absolutely. Andrea Speaks, I think I even subscribed to your page and I saw that you didn't have no content on it. But again, I am of the new mindset. If you support me, I go through my comments, I even go through my videos. And the people who support me, I purposely go to their page, subscribe to them, and I like one of their videos to let them know I'm there. Andrea, I saw that you created a new page, and I know I'm already a subscriber on it, and you didn't have anything on it. So I will be there, definitely. Like I said, you support me, and I'm not talking about, oh, we're going to do this cross support, and I'm going to do all this, and I never see you anywhere. I'm talking about I see you. Mrs. Money, I see you. I see you, so I see y'all. You will see me. Now, not to say I won't go to places that don't support me, but I won't be throwing their lives up on my stuff. They don't do that for me. And sometimes they can't. They're a big channel. They can't do stuff like that. But I'm talking about us little small YouTube content creators. We all can help each other in some kind of way, even if it's just with a click in the view. And with that said, let me catch the next comment. Silky Black, I thank you too for sharing that with me. I thank you for trusting me with that. You didn't have to share that. And I truly appreciate you sharing that with me. I really do. I appreciate that. Prayer and meditation is synonymous. They work together. A lot of people who should log off sometimes. Baldy, thank you so much. Oh, she's Alex so cute. Thank you, love. I thank you. And I thank you for being here. Exactly. Turn off. My babe, no. Babe, I was getting all kind of Tums. I was keeping Tums in business because I thought my stomach was hurting because I didn't looked up. I was taking Melantin. I was taking Pepto. I was not where I'm supposed to be. I was out of order. I was off my path. My stomach should not be hurting from too much beef. Well, we all know it will. And I'm not speaking against the beef sector because I'd be out there in the chats a little later on. My BFF has an adult son with autism. He is a beautiful soul. He began to talk at 5. He is 27 and an asset to our world. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've seen so many autistic. I want to email you his pic. Yes, please do. Please do. I'd like to put it up if I could figure out how to do it. But and we'll keep him in our prayers. We'll keep his growth in our prayers. It's so good that you caught it early, though. I'm sure a lot of people will tell you that it's so good that you did catch it early. And reach out to some of those people we know on here that do have children that have autism. Let's see. Silky, yes. Andrea create a new page. Check out Andrea Speaks new page, please, guys. I know Andrea to be a good woman, an honest woman, and I also know her to be a truth teller. So I do trust what she'll be bringing us will be good content as well. In my beef, I'm on my beef sector detox. Seriously, my mood has been altered here, and I refuse to become what I dislike. Again, knowing when you're on your path. When you know that you're on your path and you begin to move differently, sometimes at first it feels uncomfortable. Sometimes you'll be like, ugh. But then after a while, it will change your very spirit. Your countenance will be different. Your energy will be different. Guess what? I was reading this morning, babe. What was I reading that about? Your confidence is different when you get from around people who speak negativity all the time. Your confidence level will go up. You feel beautiful and you look beautiful because of it. I'm telling you, it works. I agree with Monty. I've seen changes in myself that I don't like. I get angry at hypocrisies. I had to realize that I can't change people who want to be toxic. Absolutely. You can't change people who actually enjoy where they are. Listen, I can't say it enough. This is not a dig at the beef sector or beefers. We are all here in this community because at one point we liked it. But with anything, everything becomes too much if we don't do everything in moderation. Same thing with drinking, same thing with smoking, same thing with anything we do. If we don't use moderation, it can become a poor habit of ours. If you curse or don't curse, like I don't really curse, it's not natural to me, but I cuss every now and again. So when I'm around it too much, it becomes unnatural to me. Now I'm cussing all the time. Now I'm, instead of calling people ninjas, I'm calling them the actual N word. So you have to be able to gauge in your body when it's time to move forward. That use that axis, that brain gut axis. When that gut tells you you're in the wrong room, go. When in the physical and the spiritual and the virtual, when your spirit tells you you're in the wrong room, go. Go. Don't stick around to hear more foolishness if your stomach starts to hurt or you're getting a headache. Leave. It's toxic to you. It might not be toxic to the person giving it or the people in the room. Everybody has their level of toxicity that they can stand. I just can't stand too much no more because I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to go different places. Hey, I found out the other day and I sent it to somebody because I know there's long been questions about my numbers. And I sent it to somebody because I couldn't believe it. YouTube 100% added one of my videos on in the psych world. And I didn't catch it because I had been in the beef world recently. I hadn't gotten over there lately, which I need to go back. But I did a video called Feeling Used in the Psychology of the Newborn Users. And in that video, it gave a live testament from a young man who said, if I'm around you and I feel like you a mark, I'm going to hit a lick. I'm going to use you. And it was such an important video and it didn't get many views. I put it out maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Well, the other night I'm laying in the bed and I'm like checking my analytics, just try to see when I should go live next. When are they saying that I have the most live potential? Because I know a lot of people go live at this time, but YouTube is telling me no. At 12, people are watching you because they're on lunch. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go live at 11 because I just like ones. I just like ones. So I'm gonna go live at 11. So I'm sitting there looking at my analytics and something I usually hit the 30-day or the 45-day, whatever it is. And then I hit the last 28 days and then I'll hit the 7-day and then I hit the 60 minutes. I hit the 60 minutes and this video has 62 views in 60 minutes. 62 views. I was so crazy. I sent it to somebody. I was like, am I seeing this? At first it was 87. It said it was 87% that the views on there. So I scaled it down. It said that the views were 87% YouTube advertising. I haven't advertised on YouTube in months. I can't afford it anymore. We just moved, so I haven't advertised on YouTube in months. That's why, my videos used to be 2,000, 3,000. They went down to 1,000. Some of them back in the hundreds. Fine with me. It's fine. This video, then I looked at it again in 60 more minutes to see what it was. 100% YouTube. I could not believe it. They saw something in me, and in the psych community, I guess it was a good video, and I was just so happy. And then after that, I even showed my babe. She can attest to this. There's a place you can scale down your analytics, and you can see whose videos your video follows. And I can't remember the gentleman's name in the psych community, but he has over 1.3 million followers. And my video is following a video that he had 375,000 views on. And that one video in the psych community. So this is to speak to Andrea. This is to speak to Monty, to Silky Black, to anybody out there who wants to create a YouTube channel and doesn't quite want it to be in the beef sector, wants to speak to our community, but also wants to speak to other communities. You can do it. This is happening for me because I've been persistent. I've been on here 4 years. I started YouTube in 2.5 years ago. the last year I kicked it up. I started doing my advertising. I started advertising on Facebook. I started advertising on Instagram. I actually had an ad account on YouTube that I just canceled about 3 months ago. So now I guess it's starting to pay off and I'm so excited about it. But I also know I'm where I'm supposed to be because what I'm doing is paying off. The universe is saying you have actually lined up for your purpose in life. And because of that, you watch it open up. You watch the stepping stones you'll begin. You watch how you come out of that valley and head up towards your peak. And when I get to my peak, I'm not going to forget my valley experience. I digress because I get to preaching. Y'all know I will. I still love the preacher in me because it's still true. All right. Yes, Andrea, I've seen many changes and much in short time. I almost don't recognize me. Absolutely. I totally agree. I didn't recognize last year who I was in 2019 in comparison to 2020. 2021, baby, I'm about to be something. Baby, woo, come on with me. Come on with me. Yet I'm bouncing back. Absolutely. Nothing in our life comes to break us. It all comes to give us a lesson. It all comes to teach us where we should be. We don't have to be what we do. It almost equates to leaving your abuser. No jokes. I've been trying to leave for almost a year. Listen, it takes over 30 to 45 days to create a new habit. And what I'm doing is creating a new habit. My new habit is I'm going other places. My new habit is, okay, you like beef, you like reality, you like all of the messy stuff. Limit to yourself to what you can watch. And then I found myself getting interested in other stuff. You may like drama. There's a whole nother drama sector. You may like the housewife stuff. And we're not even gonna talk about the cooking and the makeup. There's so many other communities that still need positive messages. There's positive pushers out there everywhere, y'all. We can do it. We can be them. We don't have to do it, yes, but we want to do it. My email is mbernadettvlogs@gmail.com. Just like my username on here, same thing. I'm working on new content now, coming soon. Great, Andrea. And I will be there to see it happen. It was okay with roasting and gagging. It's funny. Later content lost its humor and became painful to watch. Absolutely. And I attest to that because I heard a couple of people saying that this weekend, how much the beef sector has changed. That it used to be, I'm not going to lie, it used to be funny. I mean, you would get on there like, oh, let me run over to so-and-so cheddar. She going to get down. Or he going to get down. He going to roast her. And he was like, honey, I seen your car. And she'd be like, honey, I see what's up with that dining room table. Look like your auntie had roasting. Didn't talk about their kids. Didn't talk about their dog, cat, mama. Nobody. Roasted everything around them. Even roasted your hair. But kept it where roasting is supposed to be. We've been doing the dozens all our lives, honey. The dozens kept humor in slavery. Please believe we've been doing the dozens forever. And now it's kind of turned toxic in a way that it's violent. It really is violent. It's like crack. It really is. It really is. It's a roast and a gag, not a drag. Not a drag. Good information. Thank you. I appreciate that. The better numbers are outside of beefing. Alignment brings achievement. Absolutely. Look at all these nuggets y'all dropping in my chat. You know y'all need to get on y'all jobs and do what you're supposed to do. When I was a pastor, I was a pastor's pastor, which meant when I was a domestic violence counselor, which I still am, but I try not to dibble and dabble in that too much because I get too frustrated. When I was a domestic violence counselor, I counseled abusers, not the abused. I tend to be able to speak strongly to those who are in higher places or who do dumber things. So with that being said, I know my role. I know my goal. I know what I'm supposed to do. And I know the word and the ministry and the call on my life. I know there's always going to be a lot of content creators around me. And I invite that. I invite that we encourage one another, that we speak life to one another, that we speak grow your channel to one another, that we share, that YouTube shared my video for me one night. They ain't done it again, but they did that one video one night, and I'm appreciative of it. I'm so appreciative of it. I didn't go back yet. I'll tell y'all maybe the next live how many views it actually got from YouTube because it was still rolling that night, and I haven't actually gone back and looked at it. But those are the things we want to celebrate. Now, I'm going to get to the last thing. So I usually promise we're not going to be over an hour. Today we had a guest. Thank you for my guest coming on, talking about the new channel they're going to create, especially geared toward talking to young people and people or parents who have autistic kids. Please check Silky Blog out. Black out. She will be doing that pretty soon. So I announced that you got to do it now. Anyway, no pressure. Right where you're supposed to be. I promise I'll be done in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, I'm not going to promise, but yeah, I'm going to say that. Does on your path mean your career path or adjust to opportunities? It means exactly what you need it to mean. That's what it means. That was a question I just saw on the other channel. All right. So when you do something that makes you feel alive, when you do something that makes you feel connected, you're on your path. When you do something that makes you feel like you're doing exactly what you're meant to do, and it makes you feel all bubbly and giddy inside, and the butterflies in your stomach, not the pains, you're right on your path. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Alignment brings advancement. This not the dozens. Absolutely. This not the dozens. This is something else. When you aren't sure of what to do, when you know that whatever you're doing is not meant for you to be doing, you're still searching for your path. In other words, when you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, sometimes there will be an air of uncomfortability. And that's only because it may be new. It may be even something that you've been scared to do, that you're stepping out on faith and getting the power to do. So I relate that to Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. got to be right now relating his path with a lot of uncomfortability. Roy Jones Jr. is scheduled to fight Mike Tyson, Iron Mike Tyson, on November 28th. It's supposed to be an exhibition fight. An exhibition fight is different from a boxing match. There's going to be some changes made. The gloves are going to be, I think, 2 pounds lighter. That means they'll be, instead of 12-ounce gloves, they'll be 10-ounce. The rounds are going to be pound for pound, 3 rounds, not 3, but 2. But let me just give y'all a little background. Because, see, when Roy Jones Jr. was out, I was a Roy Jones Jr. fan. But I'm not afraid to say this. I'm a bigger fan of Mike Tyson than I ever was with Muhammad Ali. I loved Mike Tyson. I loved Mike Tyson the first time he stepped in the ring with those cutoff shorts, those tie-ups, no socks, and a ripped up hoodie. And then he will pull it off, and Cus D'Amato was in the corner. That's the Mike Tyson I love. But let me tell y'all a little bit about Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. was 49-1 back in 2003. He lost a few prior to that, but Roy Jones Jr. was always 49-1. In the 1980s and 90s, in the boxing popularity focus in all divisions, Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns, Pernell Whitaker, Julio Cesar Chavez, Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad, Floyd Mayweather Jr. was just coming up in the late 90s, and Roy Jones Jr. had to be named among the pound for pound champion. And only because Roy Jones Jr. could go up and down the scale. In the heavyweight division, Tyson's reign ended prematurely after he lost to Buster Douglas. He also took on a loss to Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, and Lennox Lewis. But let's be real. Mike Tyson, between 85 and 2005, who was named Iron Mike Tyson, was considered one of the best heavyweight boxers of all time. He reigned as undisputed world heavyweight champion of the world. Okay, all right, I'm done. From 1987 to 1990. That's a long time to be undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Okay? He was simultaneously holding WBA, WCA, and the IBF titles, and was the only heavyweight champion to unify them in succession. Mike Tyson held all the titles in succession. I think Roy Jones Jr. is about to be off his path. Okay. So Let's look at the tape, the tell of the tape. Here's the tell of the tape. Now that I give a little history on both of them. Mike Tyson, 54. Fights, 58. Wins, 50. Knockouts, 44. Losses, 6. No contest, 2. June 2005 was his last fight. He's 5'10". He's known as Iron Mike Tyson. And he has a 71-inch reach. But we know he don't need the reach. Roy Jones Jr. is 51. I didn't know that. He has 75 fights behind him. Mike Tyson has 58. He has 66 wins. Mike Tyson has 50. He has 47 knockouts. Mike Tyson has 44. He has 9 losses. For his last fight was February 2018. Mike's last fight was June 2005. Do the math. His height is 5'11". Mike is 5'10". His name, Captain Hook. His reach is 74 inches. Now, why do I still say Roy Jones Jr. is off his path? Because our Mike Tyson is just that. This is the same dude that said he wanted to take Evander Holyfield's nose and press it to the back of his brain and kill him. That's what he said, not me. Those are his words. He even said in an interview the other day that he's going to disable Roy Jones Jr. So Roy Jones Jr. did a video yesterday talking about, Joe must have forgot. And I said, we did, Roy, we did, but you still off your path and you still won't get hurt. And I'm so sorry to say that. So I'm taking all bets. No, I'm not. Anyway, I use this little funny thing to say, if we're not careful, we can get that far off our path that we put ourselves back in the ring when we ain't got no business in that fight. That ain't your fight. That ain't your battle. Listen to your gut. When it's telling you that you're not in a place you're supposed to be, that you are off your path, don't just, we can read in black and white. Somebody off their path in this. I don't believe destiny has led these two men together. I believe money has. I believe, what's the word? Reputation has. I believe ego has. But I don't believe that, it's on the right path. Now, destiny's going to show up because here's the thing about being on our path, whether we're on the right one or the wrong one. If you believe in God, there will be provisions made, but you got to figure out where you lost it. You got to figure out where you lost your path, where you lost your God, where you lost your universe, where you lost your meditation, where you lost your prayer, where you lost your peace, where you lost your hope, where you lost your confidence. And you got to go back and get it. You got to speak to that thing that made you lose it. Y'all know how I say at the end of every episode, and this here must be the end. Figure out your demons. Speak to them. Master yourself. These two men I speak of jokingly have mastered themselves. It's in black and white. Speak to yourself first. Know your path. Know where you're supposed to be. Once you know, you're doing the right thing, your fire's there, your zeal there, and you're not going to always have the fire and the zeal. That's the thing about your path. Sometimes it's going to feel good. But if you know, you're on your path, stay the course. Stay the course. My path ain't beefing. I ain't getting on here roasting and gagging nobody because I can't do it. But my path is to encourage you. My path is to talk about, you all right? Okay. How you can grow. My path is to talk about where we need to be. And with that said, learn yourself, master your call, master whatever it is you have decided to do, be it YouTube, be it life. This is some of our lives, not in the sense that we're too invested, but in the sense that we're human. Life happens on YouTube and off of YouTube. And if you're an authentic person, it's usually one in the same. My authenticity is the same on YouTube that it is off YouTube. I've mastered myself. That's what we're here to do. Do I have a lot more to grow? Yes, a lot more to know. Yes. But for the most part, where I am right now, I know it's exactly where I'm supposed to be. And when those demons pop up, I speak to those demons. And then I serve eviction on them one by one. Go back to where you lost God. Go back to where you lost your path. Go back to where you lost your goal. Go back to where you lost your ministry. May it be when you start talking to that certain particular person and took the focus off of you, got too much into the beefing, took the focus off of what you were doing, got too much into other people's problems, took the focus off what you were supposed to be doing, got too focused on other people's focus and not your focus, because we do that too. Got too much into somebody else's life that you aren't governing your own. When you get back on your path, you watch the joy and fulfillment that will come out of it. And that's when you'll know, like, even if it hurts and it feels, it's not the same pain as being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm telling you, it's not. You'll know your unction. If you decide you want to listen to God, you want to listen to your belly, you want to listen to your unction, if you open yourself up from that, that path will open up for you as well. This is a good message. Thank you so much. The blessing of being on the wrong path is God will turn things for the good. Oh my gosh. And will direct you back to your path. Listen, you just said that. And I just said this. Me and Babe were talking yesterday. And I said, people say the beginning of these comments, but they don't finish them off. And we were looking at a show on TV. And I said, look at her using that out of context. And I'm going to just say this because this was the exact scripture. Like Andrea said perfectly. The blessings are being on the wrong path is God will turn the things out for the good. So that says, and she's agreeing with it already, all things work together for the good. And the scripture that people say all the time, even if they're not Christians, they don't even realize this is scripture. All things work together for the good. Yeah, but there's a comma, not a period, exclamation point, or quotations. It said, for those who love the Lord and are called according to his riches and glory. In other words, for those who are called according to God's purpose, who are walking in the divine destiny set out by the universe, your God, the old and the new, the ancestors, all of them have set and directed a path for us. And when we step off of it, all things do work together for the good. And then the path goes right to back where it should be. When we realize it, you have to recognize and realize you, sir, you, ma'am, are off your path. Get back on the job. Get back on the job. I will not bet against Mike. Oh, no, ma'am. Mike is on his path. Oh, no, ma'am. Mike is where he's supposed to be. Did you see? Have y'all seen Mike Tyson? Have y'all seen him? Have y'all seen the new video he just did? He looks better. Mike Tyson ain't never had neck roll because his neck was too tight. He was just in there like this. Mike Tyson in there. Yeah, I would never bet off Mike. I would never bet against him. I am on the right path. I know it. That gut feeling. Yes, that gut feeling. Again, please share this video. If you're here or you catch the replay, like it if you like it. I would really appreciate it. Share it. If you can't share on YouTube, share it on your Facebook. All of us have Facebook. Share it on your gram. I don't mind. I'm here for it. But I'm going to close with this because we're getting to I did pretty good. May God give you peace. May he give you wisdom in your journey. And may he show you who be for you and who be against you. He will make that path plain and simple. May your God, the universe, give you signs and wonders to let you know you are right on time. I declare it over all of your lives today. Sunday, I'm going to be a little bit more organized and my life will be a little bit more conducive the way I want it to go. But I am so happy that Silky came up to bless us with the story of her child. Next live, I'm going to show us a picture because I know she wants to brag on her grandbaby. So I'm definitely going to do that. And I just want to wish you guys shalom. Shalom. Nothing missing, Yes, nothing broken. Peace, wholeness in your travels on today. And I will see you on Thursday at 11. All right. Amen. Amen. You know it too. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you guys in the next live. And I'll see you out there because I'm sure we'll be out there. I'll drive out the car. Hey, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do, but I've learned about that brain and that belly axle. That axis that it goes around on. Listen, and find peace. All right, you guys. Have a great one. I'll see you later. Bye.